Osio. That means hello in Cherokee. A good friend of mine's a member of the Cherokee tribe, and one thing he loves to eat is leg of lamb. And so today's episode is going to be all about leg of lamb. It's going to stretch over 2 days. I'm going to be doing the salt brine again with it. But before I generally start leg of lamb, I usually buy it deboned. But this one came with a bone in. And you can take a look. You can see the bone here. And it looks like a nice clean cut, right? And I thought I'd debone it myself, not a big deal. And you look here, here's the bone here, and the shank would go from here on out, of course. You know, it's not actually a complete leg of lamb. But I thought of that, and as I was rolling over, I noticed this bone here. So the hip joint is buried in about here. So to cut this bone out, you'd really be damaging this meat over here. So I'm gonna go bone in, which usually 99% of the time, I love bone in. That's the way to go. It's gonna be awesome. It's good either way. And so tonight, we're gonna start the salt brine, usually anywhere from 18 to 36 hours on lamb. And it's gonna be about 14 hours for us. A little different on the lamb. You'll notice it has a pretty good fat layer. So I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna score this in a diamond shape, just to get a little more of that salt down in the meat. And I've done this before on leg of lamb where I'll go with a salt crust. So I'm not gonna be rinsing the brine off in this case. I'll simply be adding some spices to it and roasting away. It's really simple. I know it can be intimidating. Lamb can be expensive and nobody wants to screw up an expensive piece of meat. But it's pretty easy to do. I think you'll find it easy. And great for holidays, great for special occasions. I love lamb. I don't think everybody does. I'll just give this a little love on the back. And this is gonna be awesome. So, like usual, we're gonna take the kosher salt. We're gonna coat this baby up. Rub it in there, kind of push it into those cut pieces. And yeah, just kind of work it in there. We put it in the fridge uncovered for, it's gonna be about 14 hours on our end. And that'll be it. Hopefully you guys have caught on to the salt brine. If you haven't seen it before, I've done it on a pork, I've done it on chicken. I don't think I've ever done it on beef, but pretty handy. Really will make this juicy and bring out the flavor. It's gonna be awesome. Lamb's awesome. And again, don't be intimidated by lamb. It's not hard to make, and roasting any meat is almost impossible to screw up. I did dry this off real well with a paper towel before I started. You wouldn't know it by that area there, huh? But that's about it. We're gonna be putting this in the fridge and throw it on this plate, unwrapped for about 14 hours. And I'll check in with you tomorrow when we're ready to start baking. Oh, that Aaron Burr. What a rascal. Pam, it must be time to cook. Let's go to the kitchen. Day 2 of the leg of lamb. You can see I've pulled it out of the fridge, and remember yesterday we made those diamond cuts, and you can see they kind of opened up overnight. I did not wash the brine off. I'm gonna leave that on this lamb. Key thing for lamb is you don't want to overcook it. It's a really tender meat. I don't advise marinating it. Marinating tends to break down connective tissues and all that. And lamb is very, very tender by itself. So very simple. We're gonna start off with the oven preheating to 450. We're gonna go with you've probably seen in the other recipes, the high heat, get a crisp finish on it. I'm gonna put on a little bit of olive oil, and the olive oil is gonna help the rub that I'm gonna put on this. It's not really a rub, it's a kind of a spice bath, if you will, that I picked up at a local butcher store that I really like. They're pretty good people. And it's basically basil, some dried lemon juice. Here, let me put on the old glasses and tell you what else. Basil, salt, sesame seed, garlic, black pepper, chilies, and lemon juice powder. And this stuff's pretty good stuff on lamb. Give it a little shake. And again, the oil is going to help this adhere. Kind of throw that on there. I swear there's a little mint in there too. It smells minty to me, which mint is really good with leg of lamb. And I'm gonna kind of go across these cuts and work those herbs down in those places. I really do like mint jelly. I know it's sacrilegious if you're a lamb aficionado, but I like it with the lamb. And that looks pretty good. Now I have my hand dirty. I'm going to go ahead and add extra garlic because you know I like garlic. So throw a little bit on here. And this is going to be awesome. Almost impossible to mess up. And I know my brother, he makes a mean lamb. He actually will cut slits in it and shove cloves of garlic down in it. He's pretty good with expensive cuts of meats. Anything I know, I learned from him. But anyway, I think you're really gonna like this. I pre-sprayed the roasting dish with Pam, and so we're all set to go there. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the meat on here, and when you see me again, I'm gonna show you a little trick. I'm gonna make a hasselbeck potato with this. Okay, I'm gonna put a hasselbeck potato right on the side of the roast while it's cooking. And if people don't know, it kind of looks like an accordion when it's all done. Now I've seen hacks where people take chopsticks and put the potato on there. And the idea is to slice the potato down in about 1/4 inch thick pieces, but don't go all the way through. You want to leave a little bit on the bottom. And that's where the chopsticks come in. If they set it the right amount, they'll stop your knife. Unfortunately, I tried it before in the past, and all we have are round chopsticks, and I almost lost a finger once. So I try to just be careful with a knife. You'd think I'd be wearing the glasses for this. Let's give it a little split to see, make sure it's all about the same. Whoa, a little far there. Okay, I'm gonna throw it in here. Hold on, I'll bring that into your view, Pam. Okay, I'm gonna throw a little oil on this. Any that spills over will help the pan and add to the juices. I think we might make a little sauce a little bit later out of this drippings. And one more thing, outside the house, we have some rosemary growing that we use as a spice, and it acts like I guess an evergreen out there. So I'm gonna throw a little rosemary on this, and it doesn't look too green because it's the middle winter here. Let's put this in the oven. Oh, before we go, I want to throw a little bit of water in the bottom of this because any drippings that come off that lamb, I don't want them to burn. And so that'll be good. Maybe a little bit more water. Just enough to cover the bottom of the pan. Take this over to the oven. $425 for about 15 minutes. We're going to be looking for a nice crust. Okay, let me do the old man thing. I think it's time to take a look. It's been about 23 minutes, and I jacked it up to 500. I did spin it 90 degrees to get the fat side back. And okay, I'm liking this. You can see the crust developing a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead, put this back in, and it may take a little bit of time. I'm gonna decrease that heat to 325. Then we're gonna go low and slow. And it may take an hour, it may take 45 minutes, but we'll check the temperature in about 45 minutes. And let's see how we get there. We're ready to check this thing. Let's take a look at it and see what it looks like. Oh, that potato looks awesome. Look at that lamb. The smell, wow. And let's look, I'm looking for about 135, something like that, because, 140. We're good. I'm gonna pull this out, and we're gonna give a little bit of love to this potato. While that lamb's resting, I'm gonna do something a little bit crazy. I'm going to go with this little bit of bacon grease. And I'm going to throw this on top of the potato. A little bit of bacon taste to soak down into that potato. And it only needs another 10 more minutes. But you can see it opened up really nicely. And next I'm going to throw a little, I've got some shredded cheddar cheese and some green onions, dried green onions chopped up. Throw this in there. We'll go across the grain. That's going to be nice. And I'm going to throw this back in the oven and just kind of bake that up a little bit. And while the lamb rests, it's going to be awesome. Okay, we've got the hasselbeck potato ready to go. We've got the cheese. I threw a little additional cheese on top. I'm going to just dust it with a little salt. A little black pepper. A little bit of paprika, I think, because you know I like the paprika. And we're almost ready to carve that lamb that is ready to roll. Wow, wow. Look at the juice, Pam. Awesome. Let's get a piece out here and taste it. I think I'm gonna go with a little bit of mint jelly on there. Just an old school mint jelly, just for a taste.
The girls think it smells really good.
Yeah, they do. Who likes lamb around here?
It's like your lamb dog food.
There you go, look at that. It's a little bit well done. It's kind of how I like it. I don't like lamb really rare. But let's give it a... So tender. The spices, immaculate. You're really gonna like this. It's really hard to mess up lamb. And I tell you what, let's do a little test because Pam hates lamb. And you wanna try it?
Oh no. Mm-mm.
No? Here's another look at the piece. It's wonderful. And let's do a little potato bite. Crispy edges, the cheese, paprika, a little bit of the onion. Really good.